Okay, final example today. Find the value of x in the domain of f of x equals 3x minus 4 for which f of x equals 5. It is a very wordy problem that asks you to do something very, very simple. Okay, first up, the requirement of the answer that we get, it has to be in the domain of the function they're giving us. Alright, so look at the function f of x equals 3x minus 4. It's a polynomial function, right? I can multiply any number in the world times 3, and I can subtract 4 from any number in the world. So that means the domain of this function is all real numbers. Okay? If the domain were anything else, we'd worry about that domain. But if it tells you to find the value of x in the domain, make a statement of what the domain is. Usually it's something simple like that. If there's division, x does not equal some number. If there's a square root, x is greater than or less than whatever number in order to create that 0 or positive number, right, in the radicand. All right. Establish domain. All this is saying that any number we get is a valid answer. If the domain was x is greater than 6 and I got x equals 2, I'd have to throw it out. That's the only thing the domain does. It's saying that here's your list of all the answers you could possibly get. This is saying any number in the world that exists in the world can be a possible answer to this. If the domain's x is greater than or equal to 2, any number greater than or equal to 2 is allowed. Anything less than 2 doesn't count. You have to throw it out. That's all the domain purpose is. So in this case, all real numbers. So here's what this is asking us to do. Notice it says f of x equals 5, right? Mm-hmm. What else does f of x equal?
All real numbers. No.
3x minus 4, right? F of x equals 5 and f of x equals 3x minus 4, which means that 5 equals 3x minus 4. This right here gets substituted in for f of x, making us an equation that looks like something I might give in the second day of Algebra 1. Maybe the third day, I don't know. Not very far into Algebra 1 that we do this. So 5 equals 3x minus 4, we move the 4 over. 9 equals 3x, we divide, we get x equals 3. Find x in the domain. Is 3 within the domain of all set of all real numbers? Absolutely, so that's the answer. That's all it's asking you to do. So when you get a problem like this, change f of x to this number in that expression, work it out, solve it, and make sure that the number you get lives in the domain of the function. Usually it does. All right? Sometimes it doesn't, but usually it does.